Super Draco here, and we're back for stage 76 of Build the Battleship Bismarck. We're going to be doing the rope reels and funnel details today. First up, we're going to be building the big rope reels. So we're going to take parts A1 and A2 from the sprue Mark 76-01. You're going to test fit them, then you want to put a little glue there. And then you're just going to fit the reel together. So we're going to repeat this for the others, and we'll just kind of fast forward through this. What we've got here is a spool of thread. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a length of thread and we're going to wrap it around the spool to basically create the rope for it. So now one end of this was the top and the one end is the bottom. I actually grabbed the bottom because of course I did. I had a 50-50 chance, so I came out the loser. So we'll get this we get it off the spool and you see it just unwinds. So we're going to take our first reel and then we're going to just dab some glue on the edge there. Now, because this one was an experiment, I didn't think all the way through. I should have cut the gnarled end off of it before I started this, so I ended up doing some cleanup just to make it look better. So once that's nice and in the glue, and I want it all the way at the edge, then we're just going to take our spool and we're going to wrap around. And you just want to wrap around, I honestly don't believe there's a right or wrong amount, unless it's just way overfilling the spool. But once you've got the right amount of string on there, you're going to cut the end, and then you're just going to glue it down. So, and then we're going to do it 3 more times. So I figure we'll do this one, and then I'm just going to fast forward through the other 3. with that done, those are the big reels done. So now we're going to repeat the exact same process 6 more times for the small reels from frame 76-02, which are made of 2 parts B1 and B2. So we'll do it the exact same way. I'll show one at full speed and then we'll fast forward the others. So next we're going to install the reels into the deck. So we're going to bring in the deck, and you notice these 4 holes at this nice corner by the 15 centimeter gun with the rangefinders. So these are going to hold our large reels. So the first reel we're going to install is this one, and you want this one, and you want them perpendicular to each other, with the more forward one facing towards the, that would be the starboard side, and you want the other one pointing bow and stern. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Alright, then we're going to come over here to Bruno, and as you can see there's 2 groups of 4 holes, and that's where we're going to install the first 2 small reels. And you're going to also install these on the, I believe these are the starboard side, and you want the one farther back to be facing to the sides, and then you want the one in front of it at a perpendicular facing toward the front and the back of the ship. So we're going to flip Bruno around, and there's these 2 groups of 4 holes, and we're going to install these 2 reels, and they're going to be in the same direction, and you want them facing vaguely in a diagonal line where you want the, well, it's hard to articulate, but you'll see what I mean. Alright, I'm just going to cut in real quick. I guess you'd say this is future Super Draco, who just had to stop editing because I realized I installed those in the wrong configuration. They're supposed to be turn 90 degrees facing the other way. Alright, anyhow, we're going to move on to the last 2. So on the front of our forward superstructure, we've got 8 holes. We're just going to put glue in, and our last 2 reels are going to install in there. So next we're going to build the aircraft cranes. So we need part 76-05, and then we're going to, which is the boom. Then we're going to attach trolley, which is part C2, and the hub, part C3 to it. Okay, first off, apologies for the zoom. I really didn't notice it was zoomed in until it was way too late. I fixed that now. So next we're going to do the supports D1 and D3 for the cranes. So you're going to pop those off of the sprue, and then we're going to bring in our duck nose pliers, and we're going to bend them into the correct shape. And now that that's done, we're going to repeat that for D3. I'm just going ahead and finishing it because due to the shape of this, it's hard to get this all the way right. With those supports done, we're going to bring in our crane platform 76-03, and on the bottom here you can see there's holes that are going to match up with the pegs. Now they're shaped to fit one specific side, so you're going to see me testing which one fits where, and then we're going to glue them in place. With the platform complete, we're going to drop the crane into the holes at each end. Now they're going to fit in there fairly loose, but that's okay because we want these to be movable, because we can always tighten them up later. So then we're going to bring in the funnel, and these are going to attach to the funnel underneath the searchlight deck in that large rectangular slot. So we're going to put a liberal amount of glue on that peg because we don't want this deck coming loose and wandering. Now, the instructions recommend testing all this before you put glue on it, but given how some of my decks loosened up over time, I wanted to test fit with glue on to see if I wanted to add more. So once that's in, the only other thing you got to do is you want to make sure that the pegs on top of the crane go into the matching slot on the searchlight deck. Next, we're going to be building the companionways, and we're going to pop railings D2 from the sprue. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take them and we're going to bend the support pins, and you want to do it in opposite directions on each piece. And then once you have the pins bent properly, you're going to attach the companionways part C1 from frame 76-06, and you're going to glue it across the support pins. The companionway is then going to drop onto the searchlight deck, and it's going to link to that door on the back of the searchlight with the little cover on it. And we're going to do this on both sides. Next, we've got these covers that are going to attach to the searchlights. There's just a little peg in the top that'll go into that notch over the searchlight. You just get one over one end, and the other side will just snap over the opposite pin, just like that. Easy as pie. Next, we're going to take these long ladders out of this sprue. These are ladders E1. Once we pop them out, we need to bend the pegs on them at a 90-degree angle. And then at the bottom of the ladder, we're going to put an angled bend in them. And then these are going to install underneath the searchlight deck. Okay, so next we're going to punch out ladders E2, bend their pegs at right angles, and then those are going to install just by the in the funnel over by the the companionways. Alright, ladders E3 we're going to punch out of the sprue next, and those are going to attach under the searchlight coming out from the searchlights we installed the covers on. Alright, with all the ladders installed, next we're going to take the forward superstructure and attach the radar antenna, port 76-12, to the front of the radar that doesn't have an antenna. The last thing we're going to do in this entire pack is we've got another display stand we're going to build. So we're just going to peg these two sections into the end, and that's all there is to do in that pack. Oh, this was a doozy, not only to film but to edit. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you for part 77.